Hey everybody, welcome back to Glasgow Airport on this slightly cloudy day. It's not too bad out. Today is our second training flight in the CRJ700. We're flying from Glasgow, where we flew up to on the last flight from Birmingham. And today we're just doing a short hop across Scotland to Edinburgh. Not a long flight at all, it's only about 80 miles. And we're going to reposition at Edinburgh for the next flight. So we have 50 passengers on board for this one. So let's hop on board and we'll get the aircraft up and ready to go. Alright, we're back on board the aircraft. So we're going to start with our safety check. And we will quickly go through the list. So circuit breakers, again, they're all on the back panels. Circuit breakers are closed. Nose wheel steering switch is off. Hydraulic pumps are all off. Landing gear lever is down. Flight spoiler lever is retracted. Slats and flaps lever is set to match. And if we look outside, when we came up to the aircraft, we took a look and they are all up. So when we activate hydraulics, they're not going to move. Radar is off. ADG manual release. Let's go over here to the pedestal. We can see the ADG release is stowed. Emergency flap switch is in normal. Battery master switch is now on. That is this one. Battery master switch is on. APU. Yeah, we can start the APU, so we will power the APU. And if we look down, we will see APU in bite. That's gone away. APU solve open, so the valve is open and it is ready to go. So we will start the APU. And again, if we look down here, we can see the APU door open. APU is coming online and APU start is indicating. AC, no, that's fine. AC power is on auto for both generator 1, generator 2, and APU generator, so that'll kick in as soon as the APU is up and running. AC or IRS, we will now align. It's this one. So IRS 1, IRS 2 are aligning. Emergency equipment is checked. Gear and safety pins are on board. Airplane documents have been checked. Hydraulic pump 3A. It's this one here. And if we come down to hydraulics and click on the hydraulic page and then come up to here, we can see the hydraulics are open, 3A is open, and we have hydraulic pressure. That is all good. So we go back to stat, and then we can go up, and we will turn that back off. And FMS initialization. 4? No. 3. 5. 6? There we go. Still learning which control is which on this as we go through. So, this is correct, database is correct, backup is correct, time is correct, and the date is correct. We'll come over here to the position initialization. We are at EGPF, which is Gatwick. We'll copy that information down. That is now set and the aircraft knows where we are. Originating airport. Again, EGPF. Destination airport, EGPH. Our alternate today is EGFF. Not sure where that is. And we are departing on runway 05. So that is now all in. We'll execute, and that information is now showing. So we will now go to our departures page. We are departing on runway 05, and we will be departing by the Lomond 3B departure. And we'll execute, and there's the departure is now showing here. And we can now go to our flight plan and over to page 2. So from Lomond, we are going direct to Stira. This is a very short flight, as mentioned. We're going direct. And then we are basically going to do a direct vectors to the runway. So we will execute that. We will go back to our departures and arrivals. We'll go to our departure and arrival index, over to arrivals. We are arriving on the ILS for runway 24. And it will be vectors. Now, if I look at the chart for the ILS, yeah, it'll be vectors. So that is all good. All these approaches take us way out and then bring us back in. So we're just going to go that way. And that is the flight plan done. We can take a look. Move that out of the way. If we come over here and go to our nav source here and zoom in. See, we're going to come out off the runway like this. We're going to make a turn. Then we'll come up. We'll clear these discontinuities. We're going to come up, join in. And if we go to our advance, there's the next waypoint. We come out, around, up to Lomond, across the Sierra. Then it's vectors out there. And we'll do a self vector so we can intercept. And we come in and land. Alright, so that is all good. So we'll go back to our mode there, and we'll put our range back out to about 20 at the moment. So back to flight plan, then we're going to performance initialization. And there is our information there. So let's go over to the plan performance. We have 50 passengers. They are set. I just want to check something on here. Just see what if they've set passenger weights are. I'll have to look that up. Forward cargo and aft cargo, that's baggage, that's fine. Fuel for the flight is going to be 2732. We'll take that out. 2732. Enter that. So that is all good. Our payload and fuel, so our zero fuel weight is there. Takeoff weight, it's fine. And 7.2 is what we're going to want. So we're going to set the payload in the simulator, and then we're going to copy the information over to here. Our cruising altitude today is 8,000 feet. We don't have an alternate cruising altitude, so we'll set that. Next page. So our climb, our cruise, and descent wind. So our winds is H10. So we'll execute that. And the next page is our fuel, reserve fuel, and taxi destination fuel. We should have lots. Should not be an issue. VNAV setup. VNAV is fine. Those speeds are not going to change. We're going to be at 250 knots maximum for the trip. Oh, there we go. Passenger weight, 84 kilograms. I want to make a note so that SimBrief is doing the same. For when we fly. All right. So that is all good. And we are set up for that. So the cabin has been inspected by the flight crew. The walk around inspection is done. So we'll do our checks. So oxygen test. Captain. That's good. FO. Good. Audio warning panel has been checked. Electrical power panel has been checked. Audio warnings. Good. There's the electrical power. Oop. Put that back there. Electrical is good. You can see that's now gone over to AC available because the AP generator is now running and it's taking things over. Fire test. That's good. External lighting is good. We will put the beacon on now as we're getting ready to start everything up. Fuel panel has been checked. Those were not, which is what we want, and we are good. Fuel pumps are off. Bleed air panel is good. We have normal, auto, and both engines. Isolation valve is now open. APU panel is available and running. Start panel is all off. Hydraulics checked. Auto, 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 and on. ELT switch is arm reset. Cabin pressure altitude. So our altitude here at Glasgow is... why have I got that one up? I don't want that one. Our altitude here at Glasgow, that's the one I want, is 26 feet. So I'm going to check there. It says we are at 0. And we did that, and we are now landing elevation 20 feet. That's in case we got to return to the airfield. That is fine. Air conditioning panel is packs are off. That's off. That's the recirc fan, I believe. Let's go to there. Recirculation fan is off. We'll turn that on once we get everything up and running. Cargo stuff, cool, and ram air. We don't have to worry about hot, cold temperatures. Anti-ice is checked. All is currently off. Windshield heat is on low. Emergency ELT switch is armed. Standby compass is checked and accurate. Nose wheel steering switch confirmed off. The clocks are set. Instrument panel has been checked, no faults. Upper pedestal is checked, no faults. Lower pedestal or throttle quadrant is checked, and pedestal is checked. Trims are aileron trim is neutral, rudder trim or green. Rudder trim is green, and we want 7.3 on the trim. 7.3 on the trim. Yaw dampers. Let's go back here. Yaw dampers are both engaged, and source select panel is normal. So, passenger signs. Are set on. Landing elevation is set. Altimeters are standard pressure, since I've got a preset on the weather, so 1013 on both sides, and standby is set to 1013. FMS is checked and set. IRS is aligned when we're aligned. Radios and nav aids are set, although I am going to tune in the ILS now. 108.9. So nav 1, 1089. And we'll set that over on nav 1. And takeoff briefing we discussed is complete. Off and you go off. So, clear to start. Personal electronic devices are off. APU is on electrics or checks. Takeoff data is now set and showing. And flaps 8 and dry runway, that's all set. Takeoff data is set. Doors can now close. So over the aircraft, the service door, the alt air door, the cargo door are all now closing, and the passenger doors are closing.
Captain, the cabin is secure. All passengers are aboard.
Excellent. Beacon light is on.
Welcome aboard this flight. We hope you enjoy flying with us. Before takeoff, we would like to encourage all passengers to watch our
Fuel
cabin
pumps
crew
are on.
display the safety features of the aircraft.
Fuel quantity. 2700 is checked and good. Burned a little bit with the APU. Hydraulic pumps are checked on an auto, and parking brake will now come off. And we will come back over to you. Chocks are removed. Ground cart is removed. Chocks are removed. He's pulled away. External power is off. Beacon is good. Parking brake is set. There we go. Parking brake has been removed. And we are going to push to the... I guess we're pushing to the left. Yeah, we're going to push to the left here. going to start engine number 2. So, start. Watching the N2 rise. We are way overshooting our mark. That's probably good right there. Parking brake is set. There's 20. And bring the throttle up to idle. And of course, because I went back down, it is shutting off the engine. It's very annoying if you get that wrong. So bring that up, bring that back down, and we will try that again. It's best to do it from this position. Bring it up. Oop, not you. There we go. You can hear it firing up. Oil pressure's coming up. N2 is rising. ITT is rising. N1 is rising. We have right auto ignition, right engine start. Pressures are coming up.
Ladies and gentlemen, please pay attention as we display the safety features.
So should get to about 60 and then start to hold around there. There we go.
With your seatbelts fastened and your seats in the upright position.
We have a good start on engine number 1. Starting engine number 2.
And should be placed over your head. If there is smoke in the cabin during the evacuation of the aircraft, the walkway
Watching
emergency
for
lights will
20
display
on the
the
N2.
exits, which are located here and here. In case of an extreme emergency landing, you will be instructed to get into the brace position, which is executed by placing your head between your knees with your hands over your head. We would also like to remind you that you should turn off all electronic
There's
devices.
20.
We thank you for paying attention during this brief presentation.
And both engines are in idle. So N2 rising. We have N1 rising. Oil pressure coming on. We have fuel flow. ITT is rising. You could have done a better job of pushing back. And there's 60. It's firm. Oil pressure is green. Oil temperature is green. Fuel flow is good. N2 is stable. Temperature is stable. And N1 is stable. We have 2 good engine starts. So generators, once again, checking. All generators are in auto. Electrics are all checked. Bleed valves are set to auto. Packs will now come on. And recirculation fan will come on. Yeah, they're in. So packs are, you can see they're just slightly inset there. And you can hear the air going. Where was I? Packs are good. APU will now stop the APU. And we'll let it spool down. Let the temperature come down. Anti-ice, not required. We do have the temperature, the windshield heat's low, so that's fine. And nose wheel steering is now armed. So taxi checklist. Come over here. Flaps will now go to 8. We have flaps indicated and 8 flaps showing. Flight controls. That's the flight control button, which is this one. Full left, full right, neutral, full forward, back, full back, neutral, left rudder, right rudder, and neutral. Back to the stats page. Trims are set, aileron green, rudder green, and 7.3 on the stab. Thrust reversers are now armed. Anti-ice again is required. I seem to, oh sorry, wrong one. Thrust reverser and flight instruments again are all checked. We are going to set an altitude of 8,000 feet. We're going to set a speed of 250. There's no speed restriction other than the standard under 10,000 foot restriction. And we'll be flying on the FMS, except for the vectors at the end. Oh, I do want to check that discontinuity there before we go. And brake temperatures are zeros across the board. So let's go down to the legs page. Just want to see that. So we're going off to Lexus. This is RH341H. Takes a turn. Yeah, it's fine. We should it should automatically follow. It's only a 4-page flight plan. If we go to the next one, we can see we come down to steer. Then it's going to be vectors to the intercept. So we want to control that ourselves to make sure that we intercept properly. And the capture altitude is 3,000 feet, as you can see here at if at 90, which is the intercept point for the ILS. So we want to be at 3,000 feet by there. So that is all good. Now I'll keep legs and you keep the flight plan up on your side. So we are good there. So we're good to taxi. So we're going to head out. We're going to taxi out of the apron, pick up taxiway Golf, and follow taxiway Golf all the way down. A few last things we're going to want to do here is we can now come up and we will power off the APU. That'll take care of all that. Mock trim and stab trim we still got to do. Get rid of those yellows. So there's the mock trim. Should be engaging, or it's not yet. Yaw dampers are good. Stab trim. Not sure why the stab trim is there. We've already checked. It's within the boundaries. We'll see what it says when we get down to the end of the runway. Alright, so let's taxi. We will put on the taxi light. Throw our logo light on as well so everyone can see who we are. And we are ready to taxi. So, parking brake comes off. Parking brake is now confirmed off. So we can start to taxi out. Doesn't take a lot for this one. There's the guys waving us goodbye. And there we go. So the rules on taxi is N1 does not exceed 40% at any point in time. and maximum taxi speed of 15 knots. We're doing 7 right now. Alright, so this is Gulf, and we're clear. So the nose wheel is kind of underneath. So you kind of want, when you're doing a turn, you want the line to be running through where you are in the airplane, and that puts it around the nose wheel. And then we can line it up and just have it run, kind of have it run between just where your right leg would be. That should be about fine. If we take a look, you can see we're pretty much on the line there with the wheel. Just watching that speed. I'm in idle, and we're already up to 9 knots, so we're looking good. Lock trim. No, maybe in the air. I'm not sure what that stabilizer trim. It's little things now that I've got the kind of like the big ticket items of this sort of figured out, and I'm now looking at, okay, what are the small things I'm missing? One of them was the APU valve. I realized afterwards that I never actually powered down the unit. I just turned it off. There was still power going to it. So now that now I know you got to hit the power button, and that will take that off. We're trying to basically clear up all the messages that are on the eCam here. And you can see down here where it says APU door closed, which is great. We don't want ram air sucking in down that intake and causing any damage there. So you can see, compared to if anyone's done the tutorial flight and the amount of information you have to go through and all that, you can see how much the abbreviated checklist, I think it says it's volume 4 in the manuals. It's only really a page and a half of stuff. And we're already through the first page, which is getting the aircraft up and going. So once you do that, a lot of the stuff it talks about is for the real world airplane. Some of it, like, there's even a fair amount that's not actually modeled in here and things you don't have to do. So you'd get like a paragraph or two of stuff it would talk about, and then it would say, not modeled in the sim or not applicable, don't worry about it.
Ladies and gentlemen, the captain has advised that we are now cleared for takeoff.
That's because we're getting near the end of the runway. So we'll get around here to the hold short line and get ourselves ready to go. Got all traffic off and everything, so I don't have to worry about that at the moment. May turn it on for the next one, make things a little bit more interesting. So here's the whole short line. So parking brake goes on. Before takeoff checklist. Landing lights and strobes. So landing lights are on, strobe lights are on. The wing inspection lights we don't need. That's for checking for ice. That's fine. Fuel flow. Cross feed goes to manual. We don't want any imbalance coming up, and it will give us a ding here as a alert that that is now on. Flight attendants have been advised to transponder and TCAS. Oh, still can't do that. So that's all down here. So, radar off, UTC. So if we come here to the transponder, double click, there's our code. We can set our code. It says we're on right now. Off and on. So if we were to set a code of 121.76 and go like 1576, that's now our code, and we are on. So that's fine. And you can see it's in the box. Now TCAS says we're in auto mode. TA only. Ah, so we're in auto mode. That's fine. Traffic will be indicated on. It's on tilt above. It will give us absolute altitude instead of relative altitude. Okay, test, normal, and below. Alright, so normal would be in cruise, below would be on landing. So right now it is on above. And we will return. So TCAS, auto, ABS, and it is set. Radar terrain displays. I know the weather radar is not modeled. You can see it down here. There it is, WX. And I'm still haven't found the terrain. Is that it here? Ah, that is it there. Okay, weather, terrain. Okay, very good. And the CAS is checked. Still got that trim notification. Again, not sure what that is. That's fine. That's fine. And mock trim. It's probably still something we got to do in the air. All right. Let's head out onto the runway, and we'll get ourselves set up. Again, still learning. A lot to figure out here. So we're probably going to change our vector on our inbound to the ILS. We'll probably go towards Kirkcaldy, and then come down that way and intercept. So we have a shallower intercept altitude or angle, and we can descend out over the water. Engines are back, and we are now lined up. So crossflow pump is fine. Mock trim will set in the air, I guess. Stab trim, I'm not sure what's going on there. Takeoff configuration, we come down here, we'll push the button here. Start takeoff configuration. It says we're in takeoff configuration. Everything looks good to go. And what do you think, Roger? We good? Alright, we're good. Again, we got to watch the speeds, because again, this is all manual in here. So 8,000 feet is set, 250 is set for our indication. So bringing the engines up to 60%. And holding. Stabilized, brakes are released, and we are in max power. It's 100 knots. V1. Rotate. Positive rate. Gear up. If you get it right, with the trims and that, she wants to lift on her own, which is pretty cool. Alright, so we're climbing. Engine's back to climb power. And nav mode, speed mode. Alright, autopilot doesn't want to come on yet. Probably the mock trim. No? always something. Right, flaps coming up. Alright, we're beginning our turn. The intercept. Going around. Gotta come back on the power. Still bringing it around. Still climbing. And not sure why she wants to do that. Oh, there's 8,000 feet. I have missed something here. I'm not sure what. What have I missed? Is it the yaw dampers? No, they were in. If anybody knows what I'm missing here, please let me know. I am not sure. Well, flight directors are on. Autopilot will not stay on. The question is, what is causing that? No, we don't want to be diving too much. We want a slight decrease in our altitude. Alright, make the turn. Well, we're flying manually. Again, we're climbing. Speed coming back. $290, I want $250. Huh. Oh. That. I'm going to have to make a note of that. There we go. Alright, so I can come off. So autopilot will disconnect. Okay. Let's get this back sort of under control. Let's go to nav mode. Ease back on the throttle. Set 9,000. There we go. It's a little bit better. We'll go to vertical speed. Where are you going? You've gotten confused since we were late doing that. So I'm going to go this way. I'm going to go heading mode. And we should be slowly going to 9,000. And an altitude capture. We can edge up on the power a little bit. Alright, so something to remember, when you set your trims, you got to turn on both the stab trim and the mock trim. So that is what I was doing wrong. So at least now I know. Alright, so we're leveling out, so we'll bring up a little bit more power since our speed is slow. For the ILS course, it is 241. Come over here and we go to our nav source. It will be that, or is it down here? We go into here. No. Oh, right, it's up here. So our nav source, localizer 1 will be 24, what did I say it was? 241, just watching that speed. And we're 25 miles away now. So if we zoom out on our range, we want to go over there. And because we don't have the thing, it won't give us a proper descent. That's fine. We should be at 8,000 feet anyway. That's fine. So we're going to set 3,000 feet. Again, this is all learning. It's all good. And we're going to set a vertical speed of 1,000 feet down. And we'll leave the throttles kind of where they are, let the speed build. And there's our nav source right now. That's the where we are compared to the runway. So we're going to head 060 at the moment. It is sensitive once you start going. Nice. Partly cloudy day here in Scotland. So I'm going to aim to come out and do kind of a box and then angle inwards for the capture at 3,000 feet. Bring up that downwards to about 1,500, and we'll keep the speed down around 250. And the crossflow pump can now come on since we're in the air. It's part of our after-flight checks, but we're kind of skipping ahead now. Speed's creeping up to 250, so we'll just ease back on the throttles a bit more as we descend down through the clouds. So when we do our initial trims, we'll have to remember to do our settings for our stab trim and our mock trim. I guess you got to turn on systems for it. See our top of, or our banana, that's when we're going to hit 3,000 feet. I'm actually going to decrease our range to 20 miles. Just give ourselves maybe 1,200 feet there. Wind farm some of the hills here in southern Scotland. Alright, so we're going to turn eastward now. 090. Basically going to fly over Kinross, Glenrothes, and then we'll make our turn to the south. See, the ILS is now coming in, or at least it glanced in, so we're getting close. Decrease a little bit more down to 1,000 feet. Let's turn on the terrain radar, see what comes up. I don't know if any of the radar is working in this thing. I know they said the weather radar is not. We'll see if the terrain radar is. See, ILS is coming in. See the glide slope there. 16 miles, localizer 1. It's a bit high. There's my 3 views here in the cockpit. I can go down to the instruments. I can look up a little bit more and down. And we also have, not that I really use it, is this heads-up display. So I guess for bad weather, nighttime, it would give us a nice little bit with altitude, speed, and it says TCAS off. I'm not sure why it's saying that. Gives us vertical speed and stuff like that, so it is available if you want it. A little bit of cloud, a little bit more power as we start to pull out here. Again, we're probably a little low for the area we're over, but it is what it is. So let's turn to
Terrain.
150. No, not yet. Let's go with 120. I want to get out over the coast there. Oop, watch that speed.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are about to land. Please remain seated until we have stopped.
My barrel is set. We're in altitude capture mode. That's better. So we're 15 miles from the airport. So we're bringing the speed back a little bit. 230 is our initial flaps. And of course, as we take out or add in flaps, we're going to have to add in power, because they do increase drag. We'll see if we can do a better capture on the ILS this time, because last time it was kind of iffy. Alright, let's turn, I want to get a better angle coming in. Make sure the glide slope works very well. Alright, so pull the first notch of flap, increasing power. Flaps 8. And we'll set our approach speeds. So we'll come over to our performance. Our VREF is 129. So we're setting that, and we're setting our VREF speed. So it is now set. So our next level of flaps is in. So we're now at flaps 20. You see here flaps 20, 230 knots. So our next one we have to be below 185 for flaps 30. It's still giving us a fairly level flight, although you can see we're slightly nose up. And of course, if we look out our windows, slats are out, flaps are down. Alright, so let's turn about to the intercept here. We're out over the water. $18 miles out apparently. That's about right. So there we are. So we will go to approach mode. So localizer glide slope we're now showing. We have the glide slope indicating. We have the localizer showing that it is to our left, which is correct. Course is set of 241. We are coming in to the extended center line. Speed is 180. So once we capture and we line up, we will then go to, we'll keep 180 till we're about 9 miles out. Localizer 1 is now capturing. Or the localizer is now capturing. See the airport. still about 170. We'll nudge up on the throttles. Fuel quantity is good. Slowly edging over and lining up. Speeds up at 180. Everything is set. Lights are all set. Generators are set. Should just be adjusting now as we start to fine-tune our approach. Gonna have to look up panel lighting and interior lighting. Ooh, nice. A little bit of flood lighting. Turn the floor lights on. Very nice. I wonder if there's a lighting. Should be a lighting switch for up top here. Where are we? 12 miles. Let's take a quick look. Oh, that's that light there. Turn that off. Should be kind of a integral lighting switch for up top. Not exactly sure where it would be. Same with the panel up here. There should be lights for that. Alright, glide slope is coming up. Let's see if we get a good capture. We got a capture. Alright, back on the speed. Yeah, much better capture than we did last time. Alright, speed coming back. Not too far. Let's gear extension speed. Landing gear extend 220. Okay, so we're good. So there's 7.5 miles, 185. Gear coming down. Should get some drag. Gear's rather slow on this airplane too. Flaps 30. Again, I'm targeting 129. Gear down, 3 green. Start easing back the power. And flaps full. She's gonna dump power like crazy, or dump speed like crazy, so watching the throttles. 40. I haven't set my decision height or anything. We got the runway in sight. There we go, coming down towards our speed here. There we go. Now we just play with throttles. A notch up and a notch back, just trying to keep her at the reference speed. 129. 1,000 feet to go. We're looking like 3 reds and 1 white, but we're slightly below glide slope. We're okay, speed's okay. There we go, 2 whites, 2 reds. We're on the glide slope.
500.
Runway's in sight.
400.
Slight headwind, not bad.
300.
Sink rate.
200.
Sure why I just suddenly lost power.
The captain has aborted the landing. Please keep your seatbelt fastened as we will be landing shortly.
Whoa.
Sink rate.
100.
Yeah, not sure what happened there,
30. 20.
but recovered.
10.
Get the nose down and reverse. Huh, interesting. $60 knots. Reversers are in. Definitely got to work on our landings in this thing. On the brakes.
Please remain seated until the aircraft has come to a complete stop.
There we go. So we'll head back to the gates. For some reason she just kind of started to power down. I'm using the keyboard right now. I'm still waiting for my throttle quadrant to come in, and I'm wondering if I just had a little bit of pressure and I didn't realize it, and it picked it up and started to tune it back. But anyway, let's get the landing lights off, the strobe light off. We will turn on the APU. As soon as the APU bite goes away, we'll start the APU up. Spoilers retracted, reversers are disarmed. Well, it wasn't a bad landing. Things to note when you land, she wants to keep the nose in the air. What the manuals have said is to push the nose down, get her down on the ground, and then activate reversers. Don't keep the nose up. So I'm going to have to work on that. So we're going to taxi in here at, where are we, Echo, and then go to the gates. It's a little bit fast. We're in idle. Didn't use my checklist on the final bit there because everything was going so quickly. But welcome to Edinburgh. This is a freeware airport from flightsim.to. One of the many you can get, which really do add to the experience. And we are a tiny jet, so we are going in here at one of these air stair gates. We'll kill the taxi light. Let's get a decent view here. So hopefully the virtual airline gets us our livery soon. Well, they're working. They're usually pretty quick once they can do it. Oh, no, up a little bit further. And there we go. Parking brake. Parking brake is set. So, shut down. Seatbelt signs. Really? They come off already? Okay. Come off. The APU is available. Generator's already on auto. It's already drawing power. And it will switch over when we shut down. There's engine 2. Engine 1. Alright, all the anti-ice will come off. And the fuel pumps will all go off. Beacon light will go off. Logo light will come off. That's already off. These are all off. And nose wheel steering, you guys can be quiet, will come off. And we can open the doors.
Door.
Ladies and gentlemen, the door is open. Please make your way to the exit and please make sure you have all your personal items and carry-on luggage.
Ground power cart is now connected. Yeah, no doors open. I told him to open the door. There we go. AC is available. There we go. It is in use. And we are here. Well, thank you very much for joining me on this tutorial training flight. Hope you enjoyed. Hope you're enjoying the CRJ700. And we will see you next time. Bye for now.